Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, in his first directive since taking office, has given his senior leaders 2 weeks to send him reports on sexual assault prevention programs in the military and an assessment of what has worked and what hasn't. Austin's memo, which went out on Saturday, fulfills a commitment he made to senators last week during confirmation hearings. He had vowed to immediately address the problems of sexual assault and harassment in the ranks. "This is a leadership issue," Austin said in his 2-page memo. "We will lead." Senator after senator demanded to know what Austin planned to do about the problem, which defense and military leaders have grappled with for years. Reports of sexual assaults have steadily gone up since 2006, according to department reports, including a 13% jump in 2018 and a 3% increase in 2019. The 2020 data is not yet available. The 2018 increase fueled congressional anger over the issue, and lawmakers have repeatedly called for action, including changes in the Code of Military Justice. Many victims don't file criminal reports, which means investigators can't pursue those alleged attackers. Under the new system, victims who don't want to file a public criminal report, are encouraged to confidentially provide details about their alleged attacker so that investigators can see if they have been involved in other crimes. Now, you guys, we spoke about the reports that came out about racism and discrimination within the military. This was the report that I was looking forward to hearing, because this, like I said, is an ongoing issue. The amount of rapes and murders we've heard about of, female military personnel being attacked by their own. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I think, again, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I had an uncle in the military and some friends, and they said, look, like when things like this happen, you're scared to talk about it because the powers that be, the higher up you go to the ladder, they're connected. So you may get blackballed, you may get harassed even more.
What happens if it's
they make it hard for you?
What happens if it's your supervisor, your direct supervisor that's the one that is sexually harassing or abusing you? What are you supposed to do? And then the whole idea of being in the military, how mentally and physically tough you have to be to withstand it. It's a lot of pressure, I'm
glad we're expanding on this story, because when I brought it up yesterday, I couldn't remember all of the details on the exact directive that he had given to military leaders under him. But I think that for this to be his first official act, what does that say, about how we view women and what we're going to do about the treatment of women? And I think the best part about this is the report coming back to say what has worked and what hasn't. And then, of course, overall, we have to address the reporting process. In all of this, that has to be addressed, because if people don't feel comfortable, or people are going to face retaliation and the same sort of punishment that the perpetrator faces, none of this matters.
What this situation tells me, in terms of this being General Austin's first directive, as the leader of the Defense Department, is the fact that he's witnessed things and knows things that have transpired during the course of his career, and he wants to correct this wrong. That's just my opinion.
All right, we're talking more COVID-19 because activists say 1.2 million people have signed a petition to remove California Governor Gavin Newsom from office. This is all over their frustrations with his response to the coronavirus pandemic. California requires 1.5 million signatures in order for the recall to appear on the ballot. As the Wall Street Journal reports, supporters of the recall have raised more than $1.7 million in the effort. Former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer is a Republican, and he's pretty much leading some of the effort here. He says Californians are hurting, and we've had a dramatic failure of leadership from the governor. The governor's actions are harming lives and livelihoods. People are at their wits' end, and they want to do something about it. Just so we're clear, that is a quote from him. The recall activists are angry due to Newsom's decision to shut down schools and businesses and places of worship to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. California has been one of the hardest hit states by the pandemic. And according to Johns Hopkins stats, California has more than 3.1 million cases of COVID-19 and more than 37,000 people have died. This is nothing new, right? This kind of split down party lines when it comes to Republicans being upset at leaders who say, hey, this is airborne. We need to shut down places where people are breathing on top of each other. We've seen this happen in many other states, specifically a lot of, other Democrat-led states, Republican people protesting outside of the governor's homes.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen threats. The FBI has had to step in. So that's nothing new. What I think is interesting is how we're going to see Republicans and some far-right Republicans try to pull in black people because of the anger that we're seeing when it comes to the fact that he didn't prioritize replacing Kamala Harris with a black woman. And because, you know, you saw like a lot of recall talk there, and they are going to take advantage of that and try to bring them try to bring them into this fight, which is really just focused on getting Republican leadership at the top.
That is what, but you understand, you know, we're in California. We have a lot of soulmates across the country. We're here. We see what's going on in this state. How has he handled it? Because remember, when he set down the law and he changed these rules and everything, he was caught at a French restaurant. Governor Newsom was, right? So he kind of played himself in that situation. But overall, he's kind of torn. Like, how do you guys feel the way he's handling it? Should we be opening back up outdoor dining now?
I'm just gonna say, I was when the order, you know, when we heard that the stay-at-home order had been pulled back, I was genuinely confused. I was like, aren't we discussing like the high, you know, infection rate and how many people are, you know, the ICU units inside of hospitals are overrun with patients, but he's gonna take back the stay-at-home order. I was so confused by it, like entirely confused by it. Go ahead, Jenny.
You know, at the beginning of the pandemic, as you guys saw in California, he did do a good job initially. You know, initially he closed everything down. Great job. But then as you guys could see, at the end of 2020, things just started to go crazy in California. We were the, you know, ground zero for COVID-19, and we still are technically. Like you said, Romeo's ICU openings are at 0%. 218 healthcare workers died of COVID-19 in December and January alone. My thing is Hollywood and Los Angeles specifically is the epicenter, is the superstar of California. So once you open up Los Angeles, I feel like it was a great thing to keep. I have no nails on. Y'all know I love my nails. I haven't been able to get my nails done. I am suffering right now, okay? But I am happy that everything is closed down, because once Los Angeles opens, you can open San Diego and San Francisco and things like that. Those are great places, but Los Angeles is the superstar of California. So when you open up Hollywood, you're going to have all these tourists that want to come into town and visit. They're going to come from Atlanta and Texas and places like that that have never closed. And that is where my fear, and us in Los Angeles, we want to make it to the other side of the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's my only thing.
One thing's back open, unfortunately. A lot of people are fighting for it.
I'm scared.
And then a lot of people are dying. What a weird space to be in.
Exactly.
I'm very scared.
My point.
All right, so now we're going to talk about one of my favorite places, Target. Okay, they announced that it will reward all of the company's hourly employees with a $500 bonus for their hard work during the challenging COVID-19 pandemic, according to Fox 9. Love it. Now, they said, we're saying thank you to 375,000 of our frontline team members with the $500 bonus in the new year, the company tweeted. Now, the retail corporation, they're going to hand out bonuses to team members in stores, distribution centers, headquarters, and field-based officers in the effort to show gratitude. Also, store directors, executive team leaders, and salary distribution center leaders, they're all going to receive bonuses ranging from $1,000 to $2,000. The company said it's the 5th time they've dished out bonuses during the pandemic. Target has weathered the pandemic, as you know, quite well, and they reported that its online sales surged 102% for December and November periods. And also, sales at its in-person stores open for at least a year rose 4.2%. Also, customer traffic was up 4.3%, and the average dollar spent rose 12.3%. So I'm going to say what everyone else is thinking. How was Target able to give their almost 400,000 employees a stimulus check, but we still waiting for ours? Like,
Target was winning through the pandemic, and one of my go-to stores when I would go home all the time, because I just felt like they kept it clean, or that they kept it organized, but they were definitely winning through this. And I think it's awesome that they're doing that, because all those employees put their lives on the line every day, having to deal with people not wanting to wear a mask, cleaning carts, like doing the dirty work.
They do.
So that we could eat.
When the protests were happening in Minnesota, and people were like actually putting their lives on the line to fight and protect Target, I was like, if y'all don't sit down, yes, looting is wrong, but let me tell you, if anybody will be okay,
it's Target.
It's Target.
It's Target.
It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Romeo, it is
Relax.
Target.
Come on now.
Like, they can afford to pay a massive living wage for all of their employees,
They definitely can. Well,
I might be taking my talents to Target, y'all. I need that.
Girl, you're not going anywhere.
I need that check.
On that note,
I need that bonus.
On that note, Godiva is closing all of its stores in the U.S. after a decline in visits due to the coronavirus. coronavirus pandemic. The chocolatier is closing all 128 brick and mortar locations in North America by the end of the first quarter of this year, the company said in a statement shared with The Hill. Godiva said that the online sales and products purchasing through Grocery Club and retail partners are increasing, but the demand for in-person shopping through its dedicated locations has decreased during the pandemic. I'll be honest, I'm not a Godiva fan. Give me my Kit Kat, my Snickers, and my Baby Ruth. I'm good.
I love me some Godiva chocolate.
Get you that Godiva chocolate.
Not a Baby Ruth.
Well, first of all, don't hate on my selections. All right?
Wait, what are your selections, Romeo? Babe Ruth and what?
Snickers, Kit Kat, Baby Ruth. Give me that.
He said, I'm not a Godiva fan. Give me a Baby Ruth.
I'm with it.
This is, okay.
That's who I am.
It's just, I mean.
Live your life, Rom.
Last week you were on here fighting for Hot Pockets.
Bars.
Yes. And now you're talking about give me a Baby Ruth. I like a Snickers bar too. Romeo, I'm not going to turn down Godiva.
Romeo, Melissa just called your chocolate source, your selection basic. She just said it low.
Hey! I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm sorry, but you know,
Wow.
I've got champagne taste, darling. Champagne taste.
Yes, I know.
I love me a Snickers. Okay, so now taking it to our YouTube soulmates. Nisa 818, she says money. It is all about the money, people. She also says you have to protect yourself, which is absolutely right. One of our other soulmates says, how are you blaming him, talking about Governor Gavin Newsom, for these Hollywood super spreader parties? Oop, I feel attacked. I didn't go to him. I'm just saying. All right, keep your comments coming. I'm going to have more coming your way. In the meantime, Melissa.